Salute again, everybody. Welcome to Switching Lanes with Miss Parker. Miss Parker, please don't forget to hit that like bell. The like button, not the like bell. The like button as you come in. Turn on your notification bell. Yeah. Thank you, love. Appreciate it. Was it in the car? I'm glad I caught you before you left. Sorry, guys. I had to get my charger. Let y'all come in really quick, get relaxed really quick before we get this live started. Salute Tamara. Thank you for becoming a member, love. Kimberly, thank you for becoming a member, love. Thank you. Hey, Sor. Hey, Jordy, sister. What it do? Lizzie, my love. Give me a second, y'all. Let me get my box. Just when I think I got everything I need, I don't. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry. Let me get situated. If ain't nobody not never situated, that'll be me. Okay? It'll be me. I don't know why I can't get my shit together, but I can't. Never. Hey, Cynthia. What up, T-Lady sister? Hey, Lori. What up, Britt? Samad. Tom Ward. Barbie Taj. What up, Marianne sister? Jamel. What it do, bruh? Goddess. Barbie on Wheels. What it do, sister? Okay, so Tom Warp and Samad, I got y'all's, okay? I got y'all's for the meet and greet. It is about full. I think I have one more spot open, but I want to get my count right so I can make sure. But as of now, for sure, yes. And stuff like that. Let me get a little head. Let me give a little more. Miss 1 in a billion. Hey, love. Thank you. Oh, happy early birthday, love. You Gemini, something different. I'm his life 11. Hey. So for right now, Queen Butterfly, what you got to tell me our names. That'd be the thing. You got to tell me our name on there so I can have it. Cause after that, it's closed. My email. Did you get mine? Your email. Okay, let me see. Cause it sleeps 26, but I got like 20 coming. So I want to kind of leave it at that, cause sleeping 26 doesn't mean it's 26 rooms. Just so y'all know, some will be bunking with other people in the room and things like that. So I want to, Alicia's gonna show y'all the cabin so you guys can see exactly what it looks like. Okay, hey Miss Low-Key, how you doing, love? Let me see, Queen Butterfly. Hey, Bird. Thank you, Lori. I be trying, girl. This is a story about 2-year-old Glenara Bates. And we always think that one story is worse than the other, and this story is and things like that. And give me a second. Hey, Melinda, let me let y'all get in here a little bit. Okay, I'll do it in a minute. Hopefully I got time to still do that. I'll do it in a minute. Alicia said what? Okay. So I got everybody. I'm trying to send everything. Hey, LG, how you doing? Yeah. So the meet and greet is shut down. If you didn't get to get in this year, man, hopefully 2027, new place. You can get in on that one. I just want to shut it down at 20. Even though it sleeps 26, I just kind of want to shut it down at 20 to be comfortable in our safe space and everything else. Hey, Diane. Hey, D gonna say it. And I know a lot of people want to go. And I don't know. I just want to, for now, just keep it like that. And see what I'm gonna see after Saturday. I might have a little bit more spots left, but for now, you know what I'm saying. The cabin again. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, love. Appreciate you. I want to keep it like that just so we can get everybody situated. I want to see the beddings and get everybody situated, and then I might open up those other 6 spots. But you know, it is going to be beds and stuff, the couches that roll out into beds and everything else. So I want to make sure and make sure everybody's mindful of that. So that's why I want to do a first come first serve basis and stuff on making sure you pay for your rooms and stuff like that, who you want to bunk with, things like that. Cause I know how people get and I know how it is, but it's a meet and greet. This is what happens in a cabin. Okay. So I'm excited for my first meet and greet to be successful as it is. And so many people want to come and turn up and enjoy and have a good time. Thank you guys so much for making that possible. Okay. Thank you for loving it here, Miss Diane. I appreciate you, love. I heard snippets of this story. I had it said last week, but I needed a woosah moment, you know. I know Rishi. I know Rishi. Um, let's get into this, and I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna stop it, and we're gonna talk about it. Again, these kids' voices couldn't be heard through CPS, through their parents, through family members. So it's going to be people like me that have to be the voice to keep their names alive so these kids can receive the maximum justice that they deserve. Because is it really justice when they, yeah, Lori, next time, baby, next time. But like I said, let me get everything together for those that still want to come. Let me get everything together so I can let you guys know about betting and things like that too, okay? So I'm not going to knock it out completely because it seems like we're great to have a good time. And I want to keep it that way and stuff and let it be successful. Jesse, yes, you're coming. But I'm excited about everybody that gets to participate and stuff like that. So thank you guys again. Thank you, Sally girl. Thank you, babe. So let's get into this and see what's going on. I will be live later on tonight for my late night live. Okay, Miss 1 billion, Miss 1 billion. Still, if y'all do want to come, I might have a few more slots left. I just know how people are about rooming and things like that, and I don't want to get it confused and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure everybody's good and stuff. So that's all. Just making sure. Pinky Jane. Okay, you need a hot going on, Pink. Okay, let me know. Hit me up in my email, Pinky Jane. And stuff. Shirts off 45, and I do got my going on fans, you guys. They are available. Let me show you how big they are. This is my fan, but I do got my fans in here. They're pretty big sizes, just for those that been wanting fans. But I got bitch going on and I got regular going on fans, but they're nice sizes. They're nice size fans, and I'll open it up. So I know a lot of people wanted fans and stuff, but this is my specialty. It had to be, because it's got my picture and my mother's pictures, and I was super excited. But this is how big they are, or whatever. But yeah, that's me and Shanquilla's birthday party. So I got that picture back there. Just a couple pictures of myself, you know, and my mom. So I love them. I love them. I love them. I do. I must say that I love the fans. They're super amazing. She did an awesome job with them. Pinky Jean, the fans are 35. I paid 40 for them, but you know, I don't mind cutting the price. Hold on, guys. 1 second. So yeah, you know, I plan on getting me some pink boots. That's what I was going to do today, Pinky Jean. Order my pink boots because for the meet and greet, we're going to have hot pink rider shirts with your name on it. Thank you, Mermaid Baby. Hey, Mo. We're going to have pink rider shirts with your name on it and stuff. You know, I'm giving me some pink cowboy boots. I was great to order my pink cowgirl boots today. I said cowgirl boots today, so I can have my fan with me and stuff like that, since I'm gonna have a rider shirt and stuff like that. So yeah, you guys, I want you guys to dress comfortable and stuff because we're gonna be walking and doing some stuff outside of the cabin. So dress comfortable. Okay, Lori Bay, let me know. Okay, hey Kimberly, let me know. I'll be here available, Lori, when you're ready. Okay, and today later on, I'm doing a giveaway. Yes, later on, I might come live just for a second just to do a giveaway. Or let me see. If one of my mods want to pick a game really quick, let me see which mod I want to do it. Brittany picked the last one. Let me see. So maybe before the end of this live, I might come back. Yeah, I might come back just to keep the confusion down with the lives and keep it stuck on Glenara Bates. Hey, Born Queen. Hey, love. So yeah. So be ready to get your fans and stuff like that for the meet and greet and stuff, so you can have your fans. Because like I said, I'm going to have mine for sure. Definitely gonna have mine for sure. I cannot receive cash apps right now, but if you would like to send a donation to my PayPal, I think I put it in there. Yeah, so we're going to discuss that Saturday. When I do a meeting with you guys, I'm going to do a meeting on Saturday about everything that's going to have to go with the meet and greet, the weather and stuff, because we are going to be in the mountains and it is going to be just starting to get warm. So, you know, we want to dress accordingly. So we'll get that together. I'll get all that together and stuff, and we'll go from there, okay? Even with the groceries and different things like that. So in the itinerary, I can break it down a little more for you guys and stuff like that, and some of the games that the ladies want to do, sip and paint and all of that. So we'll get with everybody Saturday, okay? Let's get into this video. This is Glenara Bates. She was 2 years old. Another situation with CPS. We keep getting to this CPS. Everything is almost CPS. 99.9% of these things, they might pink Jean, you know, the birds, they come out. But we're going to be at the bottom for everybody else. Princess Black, Adjusted is almost finishing up your purse. And I must say, it is beautiful, Princess Black. It is beautiful. She just showed me a picture of she's finishing it up. And I need another one, Princess Black. Your purse is beautiful. She's going to be mailing it straight to you. I got some mods, a gift card to her. But Justin is going to be getting your purse out to you soon, love. And I hope you love it just as much as I do. And appreciate all the hard work that she put into your purse, okay? So, yeah. Yeah, thank you for dropping my PayPal, T-Lady. Appreciate that. There goes my PayPal. If anybody likes what they hear and want to donate, my Cash App is messed up. So, if you like to donate to the Cash App and, the PayPal. Yeah, Lori, they're amazing.
Well, the abuse Glenara Bates suffered at the hands of her parents left people stunned. It's been nearly 3 years since a woman showed up at Children's Hospital with her emaciated 2-year-old daughter dead in her arms. Today, her mother accepted a plea deal in her daughter's killing. Anjanette Levy is here now with what happened in court today. Anjanette?
Well, Cammie, Andrea Bradley had been charged with aggravated murder, but the court determined she couldn't be sentenced to death because her IQ was in the 60s. Today, that charge was dropped. In exchange, Bradley pleaded no contest to some other charges.
Looking a bit dazed and at times sleepy, Andrea Bradley pleaded no contest to murder and child endangering charges in the death of her 2-year-old daughter, Glenara Bates.
You're Andrea Bradley?
Yeah.
And you accept this plea bargain, and you understand the plea bargain and the charges?
Yes.
Bradley accepting a plea slowly brings her case to a close.
The defendant, Andrea Bradley, recklessly abused Glenara Bates, her daughter.
The abuse inflicted upon Glenara Bates was unthinkable. Glenara was starved. She weighed just 13 pounds, her body riddled with bite and whip marks. There was testimony at the trial of her father, Glenn Bates, that he slammed her into a wall the day that she died. Glenara and her siblings had been removed from the home only to be returned. Her death led 2 social workers to resign. 2 supervisors were suspended. It also led to calls for more training and money to hire more social workers.
You do have to accept the reality that there are just some people that should never have kids, period.
I want to stay right there. I want to get into the story of 2-year-old Glenara Bates. And when you hear this story, please brace yourself. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Rob. What it do, sister? Yeah, Pinky Jean. It happened in your city. Yeah. Hey, Lexi. Hey, Pooh. So brace yourselves for this one. I cannot get Cash App. Sister Candy, I cannot receive Cash Apps. I only have PayPal right now. So if you send me anything, whatever you need to send it to my PayPal, sister. But let's get into it. This is 2-year-old Glenara Bates. It's really this story's hard, Melon. It is. I will never in life understand how. What up, Sister Pooh? I never understand in life how LG is she, like it's saying she's mental. And I look at all these people that keep having children, and if you can lay down and do all of that, what I'm saying, I'm not saying that people with mental illnesses can't have sex and do other things, but it's a lot of other stuff that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? And I can't get past it. I can't get past it and just let her slide with that. But everybody doesn't deserve kids. Everybody doesn't deserve to be called mother. It just is what it is. But let's get into it. This is 2-year-old Glenara Bates, her story. And again, brace yourselves. Please brace yourselves for this one. It's just kind of hard. Hey, Kaya, the world is sick and crazy because this is what it is. It is. I know I was thinking the other night, no matter what state, CPS has the same story. It does every time. Miss One to Billion, and they always come back with the fuck shit. Hey, Karen, they always come back with the we hired more people. We was low staff, all the caseloads. It's always the same thing. She said, right, Miss Parker, can't keep using mental. Yeah. Oh, she was so cute. I would have loved that. Man, you hear me? If you're grown enough to lay down and spread it, why? Then you should be grown enough to take her. So we was always taught, Pinky Jean, no excuses. No excuses, right, Born and Queen, the same story. So here we go, guys. Hold on, y'all. I might have to use mine.
There were so many wounds and so many scars from whippings and human bites on the body of 2-year-old Glenara Bates that the pathologist doing the autopsy stopped counting.
We want to caution you that some of what you
Let me take that back so y'all can hear it.
And will be rather difficult for some adults to view. But to truly understand what this child endured in life, you must get a glimpse of some of the evidence.
Listen what they said.
So cries out for somebody to get the death penalty.
There were so many wounds and so many scars from whippings and human bites on the body of 2-year-old Glenara Bates that the pathologist doing the autopsy stopped counting. We want to.
How the pathologist stop counting? It's so many marks on this. So many bruises and marks. What you say, Lex Pooh? Yeah, they are, Lexi, really, like real shit is. How do the baby got so many bite marks and bruises that the pathologist stops counting? When I heard that, and it gets worse. And when you look at that baby and how cute she was, like any baby, all babies are cute to me. Besides let me stop. Be nice. I was ready to get on the twins, but I ain't gonna do that. That's mean. But yeah, all babies are cute to me. And the pathologist had to quit counting the marks, not just the bite marks, all the marks and cuts and bruises. And this baby's too. How did she endure so much? How did we get here? When you look at it, how did we get here?
You, the sum of what you are about to see is not meant for children and will be rather difficult for some adults to view. But to truly understand what this child endured in life, you must get a glimpse of some of the evidence.
This case so cries out for somebody to get the death penalty. The injuries to this baby were nothing short of horrific.
I have never seen a case of starvation like this before. She had air in her small bowel and she didn't have any urine in her bladder. I don't know.
How a 2-year-old don't got urine in her bladder? How does a 2-year-old child not have urine in her bladder? I may say, how can you just sit there and abuse a baby? Then just, man. Juju, it is. But it gets worse.
Not sure when the last time was that she'd been fed or given anything to drink.
After receiving this type of trauma, you're not going to be crying, you're not going to be eating, you're not going to be walking, you're not going to be doing anything. All you're going to be doing is dying. And that's what happened in this case.
When you see the pictures of this baby, you will vomit. It is so bad what they have done.
Did y'all hear what he said? Did y'all hear what he said? When you see pictures of this baby, you will vomit. A baby. A baby, y'all. We got our babies. These babies. These babies. These kids. We're losing, y'all. These babies. These babies. These kids. We're losing. I'm gonna tell y'all what's gonna get y'all the most. I gotta breathe, y'all. When y'all heard how much she weighed, it ain't even got topping another story I'm gonna cover this week. But when y'all heard how much this baby weighed, and when y'all gonna hear a story this week that I'm gonna cover, it's a 9-year-old that weighed just as less than her at 9. It's a 9-year-old that weighed less than this 2-year-old baby. And what she weighed was disgusting and the most disturbing thing I've ever heard in my life.
To this kid.
And if I'm correct, the bite marks you did, right?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Cause we be playing like dog, you gonna get you and all of that, and I'm shaking probably better too hard, something like that. But
you play what?
I never like doggy, like chasing her around, and biting her and stuff like a dog, like that.
So you put your mouth on her right here, bite down on her and shake her. Is that right?
On March 29, 2015, a woman rushed into the emergency department of Cincinnati Children's Hospital carrying the lifeless body of a child. The doctors froze in horror. Before them lay not a 2-year-old child, but an emaciated skeleton weighing only 13 pounds, covered with belt marks.
2 years old, 13 pounds. 2 years old, guys. Weighing 13 pounds. I mean, people have 10-pound babies when they're born. 7, 8 pounds. This baby only weighed 13 pounds. He's biting the baby so hard he's breaking in. She's already malnourished. This baby's already malnourished, guys. She's already below capacity of a weight limit for this baby. So when he's biting her, he's going straight through her skin and her bones. He's going straight through this baby's skin and bones, guys.
Burns, and over 100 wounds, the tiny body revealed 3 missing teeth, including her 2 front teeth that had been violently knocked out. Bite marks that forensic expert
How do you knock a 2-year-old's teeth out of her mouth? How do you knock a 2-year-old's teeth out of her mouth?
Connected.
You're biting her into her bones. She's only 13 pounds. What a vibe. Knock this baby's teeth out of her mouth on top of all the other abuse. I told you to buckle up, mermaid. For those that thought the Dakota story was worse, and I said buckle up, but I have to do it, mermaid. I have to keep these babies' names alive. I do. If it's hard for you to listen, it's just as hard as for me to break it down and talk about it. Trust me. But I don't want you to stick around if you can't take it, baby. I get it.
experts would later confirm matched both parents' dental impressions and a fresh head wound crudely stitched with ordinary sewing thread meant for clothing. Even more terrifying was the fact that a social worker who had visited the family's home just 3 weeks earlier had reported, "Glenara is happy and healthy." This devastating contrast between
the CPS said at 13 pounds, at 2 years old, broken teeth out of her mouth, bite marks into her bones and her skin, that she's perfectly happy. Glenora is perfect. She's everything. She's perfect. She's healthy. She's happy. How many cases do we got to, hey, Quinita? How many more cases are we going to hear like this? This is why I have to talk about it. This is why I have to do this is why content creators have to do what they do, or it's not going to change.
the official report, and the nightmarish reality would soon expose one of the most horrific failures in the history of child protection services. I need your support to prevent similar stories from happening again. Please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment with the name of your city. By spreading the word, each of us can become a voice for those children who cannot speak for themselves. Andrea Bradley was still a child herself when she first became a mother. At 15, she gave birth to her first child and continued having children almost annually after that. By the time Glenara entered her life, Andrea was already the mother of 6 children by 4 different men. 2 of these men were in prison, and soon a third would join them. Bradley first caught the attention of Child Protective Services in 2007 when one of her children was born with prohibited substances in their system. But the real warning bell sounded in 2009. That year, Andrea was found guilty of child abuse after one of her children was brought to the hospital with serious injuries. The child's back, legs, neck, and eyes were covered with horrifying bruises, and they could barely walk. Surprisingly, Bradley received no prison time. She was hospitalized with a diagnosis of severe depression and bipolar disorder, and was soon released back into society and back to her children.
She's been diagnosed with depression.
Going into the medical, they put in a psychiatric ward. Candy, you have to join the group and get Alicia's Cash App and send it to her, Candy, okay? Go into the Discord, get her Cash App and send it to Alicia because I can't receive Cash Apps, only PayPal. I'm going to just drop my PayPal, so if anybody would like to donate to the channel and like what y'all heard, y'all can donate to the PayPal. My Cash App is not working. Or Super Sticker, Super Chat, or just join the membership. Hitting the like button works just as well for me. You know, joining we got this woman, this demonic entity. That's how I look at them, demonic entities. And they're using mental health as a reason that they tortured this baby. Hey, Carmen. Right, Jordy. It's not. Me too. I know, Kimberly. Yeah, so they put her in a mental ward because of not the baby though. This before the baby gets unalived. Thank you, Pink Jane. Hey, Levite. They do this to the baby before she does this to the baby, but y'all let her go back with her children and saying, hey, if she's mental enough to go in a mental ward, maybe we should take the kids just to supervise her for a while. Not put her in here and let's put her back with her children.
And bipolar. So you have someone that's suffering from psychiatric issues, and if an abuser comes into the relationship, well, I think everyone knows what happens then. The abuser takes control.
Glenn Bates, Glenara's father, had a violent temper.
Right, mermaid. Right. Hey, Will Illy. Y'all can drop Will Illy's link for me, please, mods. I'm just saying. Thank you, Candy. Now her lawyer saying, well, she's dealt with anxiety, depression, and bipolar. That's all the more reason that maybe she just not deemed fit to care for her children with everything she has going on to even make out put her in a mental ward. You know?
And a history of violence. Witnesses, including Glenara's 10-year-old sister, later testified that he physically abused the children, but seemed to single out Glenara with special cruelty. Court documents describe the Bates-Bradley home in Cincinnati as a den of filth and horror. The children lived in appalling conditions, with walls smeared with feces and blood. It was into this atmosphere of chaos and violence that Glenara Bates was born in January 2013, a tiny baby weighing just 4 pounds and 3 ounces, born prematurely at 34 weeks. From the very beginning, everything pointed to trouble. Andrea Bradley tested positive for prohibited substances during delivery, had received no prenatal care, and the newborn's low birth weight and weak reflexes indicated intrauterine growth restriction. Due to these alarming signs, Child Protective Services immediately placed Glenara in foster care, with Peg Fontaine and her husband, who were already caring for 4 of the girl's older half-siblings. The 5th, apparently the oldest child, lived with Glenara's grandmother, Desana Bradley. In the Fontaines' home, a miracle happened. Glenara began to thrive. She was a jolly, happy Buddha baby, Peg Fontaine would later describe her. We loved her like she was our own. During the 8 months in foster care, Glenara met all her developmental milestones. She became a chubby, happy baby weighing about 20 pounds, with enormous dark brown doe eyes and the sweetest smile. How could anyone not fall in love with such a child? The Fontaines became so attached to Glenara that they began asking about adoption. They didn't believe Bradley could reform, and were certain the girl would stay with them. But fate had a different path in store for Glenara. In September 2013, what the Fontaines feared most happened. The Hamilton County Family Court ruled to return all 5 children to Andrea Bradley. The judge was so impressed with the woman's progress that he ordered monitoring for only 3 months, after which the case
So it's okay for her to keep going in and out the mental hospital. It's okay for her to fake it until she makes it. For the judge to say, oh, she's doing so much improvement. She knew how to play the system. She knew what to do. There's nothing mental about her. She knew exactly how to play the system.
Could be closed. For the Fontaines, this decision was devastating. They had to say goodbye to the baby they had grown to love with all their hearts. However, they promised to visit the children regularly and stay in their lives. The first few months after returning to her biological family, Glenara's life seemed relatively stable, but gradually, the situation began to deteriorate. By the summer of 2014, the once happy, chubby baby had transformed into a frightened, emaciated child. For some unknown reason, Glenara, not her brothers and sisters, became the primary target for parental cruelty. In December 2014, true to their word, the Fontaines came to the Bradley and Bates home on Hackberry Street with an armful of Christmas gifts for the children. But the owners wouldn't even open the door. Peg noticed one of the older girls through the window. The child was just standing there with an empty, lifeless stare. This was enough for Fontaine to immediately file a report with Child Protective Services. But it took long months before anyone responded. That same December, when Glenara was almost 2 years old, Bradley and Bates finally brought her to the hospital. Doctors immediately noticed critical signs of malnutrition. The girl weighed just over 17 pounds, 3 pounds less than when she lived with the Fontaines, and significantly less than the normal weight of 26 pounds for her age. But even worse, she couldn't walk. Her muscles had atrophied from starvation. Doctors diagnosed failure to thrive and administered Roman IV fluids. The girl was kept in the hospital for about 10 days, where she gained a little weight. But then the incomprehensible happened. Glenara was sent home with her parents, with Bradley merely advised to feed her more. None of the doctors reported the obvious neglect to police or
I be trying not to cry, y'all do. But these stories be so unsurreal that after I cover these stories, y'all know I really want to know if I'm dreaming or if this is real life. Hey y'all, hey Reaper.
Child Protective Services, despite mandatory reporting laws for such cases. In March 2015, after many months of inaction, a social worker finally visited the Bradley and Bates home following the Fontaines' report. In their report, they stated that everything in the home looked good and that Glenara was happy and healthy. This statement would become one of the most horrific errors in the history of child protection. It's important to share stories like this to prevent them from happening again. Please like and comment what time you're watching our videos. This helps us publish important content when it can reach the maximum audience. The reality of Glenara's life was far from happy and healthy. After returning to her parents' home, the torture the little girl endured evolved from simple neglect to methodical cruelty. Glenara's older sister later told investigators the shocking truth. Bradley and Bates hated the little girl, especially her mother, although the reason for this hatred remained inexplicable. They forced Glenara to live in the bathroom, not just sleep there, exist there around the clock. Police who searched the home after the
This baby's slept in the bathroom. No mattress. No blankies. No pillow. Being tortured. It is Will. It's bad enough we heard about Dakota, but when you hear this, yeah, Jennifer. When there's so many people again that could have took this baby, wants babies, and not to have a mind to know that she's even being mistreated. Just a scared 2-year-old that's tortured in a bathroom. No blanket, no pillow, just feces. Bits through the bone. Cut. Abused. Unloved. Thank you, Lorraine. Where the social workers come in and say she's healthy. 13 pounds. At 2, no walking, no. And I get it, God, I don't know. But it's so hard not to ask those questions like, all right, Jacqueline. Yeah, Waverly. Hey, no love. Torture. We got a man in the chat, Will Illy's like, wow, this can't be life. And that's a man. This can't be life. But a man did this, Will Illy, to his daughter. A father. All those kids, out of 6 kids, he killed his own child. He tortured his own. He beat the others, but he tortured his own baby. And when you see how cute she is, you just want love on her. Put pink all over and just love on her. They'd rather take her out and unalive her, torture her, abuse her, and as if she's nothing.
The girl's death found that the bathtub was filled with feces and blood. The walls around it were scratched, with traces of blood, evidence that the child had tried to escape. Old burns were discovered on the surface of the tub, indicating that the girl had repeatedly been scalded with hot water. During the cold winter nights in Cincinnati,
Yeah. Why, man, Levique, you hear me? I didn't even get that far, y'all, so. Oh, my goodness. Mm. Candy girl. Whew. This is beyond torture. Ooh. In a tub, cold tub, no blanket, no just pouring scalding hot water over his baby for what? I mean, why not just unalive her? But to do all of this, and yeah, Tristan, 2 years old at 13 pounds, sleeping in a tub, no blanket, no pillow, just tortured her, just pouring scalding hot water over this baby.
They didn't give her blankets, which led to frostbite on her toes. When the rest of the family sat down at the dinner table, Glenara remained in her bathroom prison. Bates cynically told police that she made too much of a mess when she ate. Once, the parents left the house, leaving the little girl in the bathtub with only a single can of food. According to her brothers and sisters, Glenara was fed, at best, once a day. One of the children remembered how she licked scraps from the floor like an animal, trying to satisfy her excruciating hunger.
Oh my God. Y'all, look. Give me a minute. Sorry, guys. It's almost like when you think you heard it all with these stories, and it's, you hear me, Reba? Man, Laura, you hear me? Yeah, Jordy, they get worse. Yeah, these are demonic devils. These are devils, Tristan. It's,
Starvation had emaciated her to the point that, by the time of her death, she weighed only 13 pounds. Her muscles had atrophied to such a degree that she could no longer walk, could barely stand even with support. Her hair was falling out in clumps due to protein deficiency. Starvation was only part of the nightmare. Glenara's body bore more than 100 wounds. Her back and legs showed belt marks crisscrossing in different directions, fresh wounds over old scars. When photographs were shown in court, some jurors couldn't hold back tears. One of them later said, "You could see the terror in her scars." Little Glenara was missing 3 teeth, including her 2 front teeth. The medical examiner confirmed that the teeth had been knocked out by force. 2-year-old children don't naturally lose their teeth. Glenara wasn't just starved and beaten, she was bitten like an animal. Bates admitted to biting her arms and chest in a so-called game called Doggy Gonna Get You. He would grab the child with his teeth and shake her, then wonder why she cried. Forensic evidence confirmed that the teeth marks on Glenara's body matched both parents' teeth. On March 28, 2015, the day before Glenara's death, the violence reached its horrifying peak. According to the testimony of her 10-year-old sister, she saw Bates grab the little girl by the legs and forcefully smash her head against the wall in the downstairs hallway of the house. She said that Glenara cried for a few minutes, then suddenly went quiet. After this terrible blow, a deep wound formed on Glenara's head.
So we put it in the tub at 2. No blanket, no pillows in the tub. No, that's not enough. We poured scalding hot water over her body. No, that's not enough. We never feed her. 2 years old, 13 pounds. Not enough. I bite her till I get in her skin. I go through her bone. No, that's not enough. I punch her in her mouth so hard I break her teeth out of her mouth. No, that's not enough. We beat her with a belt to where it goes in her skin. No, that's just not enough. I'm gonna pick her up and slam her head into a wall. That's not enough. It's low key came. Mm, 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 mm. This is. Y'all told me to brace myself for Dakota, and I'm like, okay. This right here is like, what the fuck moment? Scorpio, they just, it's unreal. It is. It's a. And that the other kids even had to endure this with this baby, right? These be hard, y'all, to cover this. My ex on my neck. Time warp, you hear me? There's no words for this.
Instead of taking the child to the hospital, Andrea Bradley tried to sew up the wound with an ordinary needle and thread used for sewing clothes.
It is beyond demonic. Y'all know what that baby felt like, her trying to stitch up her head by herself? No antibiotics, no nothing for pain, nothing. Just taking a needle in this baby's head and trying to. But we got Brianna with her baby, with Kamari. She can't get her baby back. And she did none of this. Brianna did none of this. None of this. Not her on Kamari's head was touched. Not one hair on Kamari's head was touched. Not one. And she can't get her baby back. This is crazy. This is mm, 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 mm. The baby's hair falling out. That wasn't enough. Right? How much did baby Glenara have to Carla, you know?
Medical examiner later discovered these crude stitches during the autopsy, some of them infected. Early in the morning of March 29, 2015, after a night spent with a serious brain injury, Glenara finally found release from her suffering. Bradley found her cold, with blue lips, showing no signs of life. Detective Marcus McNeil, who conducted the interrogation of Bates, inquired about Glenara's condition that morning. During the questioning, Bates described finding the child motionless and cold to the touch. He mentioned noticing her discolored lips and lack of responsiveness, yet showed remarkably little emotion while discussing his daughter's death. Bradley brought her daughter's lifeless body to Cincinnati Children's Medical Center. Dr. Straight, who examined the girl, testified that she showed no signs of life, was cold and pale, had numerous scars and skin damage in various places, was completely emaciated, and looked very small for her stated age.
My first impression was I was looking at a 6-month-old baby. Until
Why do you say that?
the weight was we ended up, she was only 12 to 13 pounds, very emaciated. It just looked like an infant, not a 2-year-old toddler.
Despite all efforts to revive her, Glenara was pronounced dead at 1 p.m. Pathologist Dr. Jennifer Scott conducted the autopsy and determined the cause of death as battered child syndrome with acute and chronic intracranial hemorrhages and starvation.
In my opinion, the cause of death is battered child syndrome with acute and chronic intracranial hemorrhages and starvation.
So it's a combination of starvation and the trauma to the head?
Yes, but the general consensus in the forensic community is that shortfalls do not cause subdural hemorrhages, and that most of the time there is an issue of rotational acceleration. So rotational acceleration can occur with shaking or with swinging.
She explained to the court that Glenara's head injuries were not caused by a fall, as Bates claimed, but by rotational acceleration, a type of injury that occurs when a child is shaken or forcefully thrown against a hard surface. Hamilton County Coroner Dr. Lakshmi Code Samarko.
Carla, that's who unalived her, was the mother and the father.
Called Glenara's case the worst case of starvation she had ever seen, and stated that the child had been tortured for the majority of her pitifully short life.
The injuries to this baby were nothing short of horrific. I have never seen a case of starvation like this before. She had air in her small bowel, and she didn't have any urine in her bladder. I don't know, we're not sure when the last time was that she'd been fed or given anything to drink. There's no doubt in my mind that this child was tortured for most of her pitifully short life. If they get executed, God bless them. I'd love to see it.
Yes.
For what they did.
I love what he just said. I'm sorry. Not sorry. He said if they get executed, he said, I hope to see it. He said if they get executed, I hope to see it. I know, Cola. Mm-hmm. Anytime these cases get like this, I want them executed. I don't want them living amongst us. I don't want them breathing. They took a life, their life should be taken. Point blank, period. I want the law to start being more extent with these murders. When it comes to these parents that do this to their kid, these are not even parents, so let me fix it. I gotta fix it every time. But when it comes to these demons doing this to these children, it's gotta be execution. It does. Because the execution still doesn't pay for what they've done to this baby. You know the blow that baby had to feel to knock her teeth out of her mouth at 2? Do y'all not know at 2 years old, weighing 13 pounds, can't walk, can't talk, can't nothing, laying in the tub with nothing but porcelain laying in? Y'all know how cold a tub is? to pick a baby up and slam her head into a wall by her feet, who's weighing nothing. Biting into her skin so hard that you bite through her bones.
This kid, when you see the pictures of this baby, you will vomit. It is so bad what they have done to this kid.
Who is? That's sad when these people say when you see this baby, pictures of this baby, you will vomit. Hey, God's Girl T. They said you will vomit if you see the pictures of that baby. And from what I've seen, and I'm pretty sure if we're listening to it, you can't watch it because just seeing her tiny hand bruised up the way it was. This is demonic. This is demonic. This is not torture. This is demonic. None, Pinky Jean, you hear me? Right, Candy. It's
watching her from December until now.
Debbie, I think Maura would agree with you. I think they dropped the ball. The attitude to keep placing these kids back into these families that should not have kids, period, has got to stop.
He spoke the realest shit ever. Whoever he is that spoke, and I hope to God I find him. I want his name. And I want to see if he is still living. I want to talk to this man. I want to talk to this man. He just said the realest shit ever. They have to stop taking these kids and placing them back in these homes. By all means. Hey, Kopi, say sister. Because for them to go in that house and lie like that and say that baby was fine at 2 years old, weighing 13 pounds, and you mean to tell me all them bruises that the pathologist had to stop counting bruises and cuts and burns? That y'all went in there and said that baby was healthy and fine? Hey, Jalita. There's no way. Y'all make sure y'all drop Cold Pieces link too, please. She's over there covering stories as well, keeping kids' voices alive. So drop Cold Pieces link. Cold Piece, you ain't gonna be able to listen to this one either.
Refuses to work, according to JFS. The only thing she works at is getting pregnant. And I'm telling you right now, there has to be a point where where society says we have to stop this.
Yes.
You have to stop subsidizing bad behavior.
Yes.
You have to stop what they're doing. And this is out of control.
Yes.
To keep placing these kids back into these families that should not have kids, period, has got to stop. Putting these kids back in these houses where their parents are so abusive or their boyfriends are so abusive.
Or neglectful.
Right. It's insane. I think they dropped the ball. I mean, JFS. Yeah, I think they dropped the ball.
Albert Einstein said that the world will not be destroyed by people who do evil, but by people who watch and do nothing. I'm tired of being up here saying the same thing over and over again, which is if you're seeing something happening to a child, some horrible thing, speak up.
Yes.
Anonymously.
On the same day Glenara died, Andrea Bradley and Glenn Bates were arrested and charged with first-degree murder, aggravated murder, and child endangerment.
Good evening, everyone. Biting, whipping, and dropping a 2-year-old on her head. And that's what police say the mother and father admit to doing. Now they are charged in the little girl's death.
Since the case was being tried in Ohio, both parents faced the death penalty. Detectives Bill Hilbert and Eric Karagiloff conducted 3 separate interrogations of Glenn Bates. When shown photographs of his daughter with severe injuries all over her body, he remained impassive, showing no emotional reaction. Unlike normal parents, who would be devastated by the sight of their child's suffering, Bates seemed completely...
That's what I said, Copies. We got 1-year-old Kamari with a foster parent who died under the foster care lady, who the mother didn't even get to see her child. She didn't get to see Kamari when he passed away. She didn't get to see Kamari for days up until his funeral. All because some girls decided to come to her house, gang her. Not because she's on cocaine, not because she's on hard drugs. They said when she went outside to fight the girls that came to her door, she neglected her children. So they took Kamari and 3 of his siblings. For a year. For a year, y'all. Brianna's not mental. Brianna has nothing wrong with her. She goes to work every day. She passed all her classes. Only she still doesn't have her children back after a year. But we have these demonic entities put their 2-year-old baby at 13 pounds in a tub where she lived. Not a baby crib, not a bassinet. She lived in the tub. No blanket, no pillow, no nothing. Pouring hot scalded hot water over this baby every day. Hey, Michelle Renee. Thank you. Never feeding her. They said she had no urine in her bladder. None. Knocked out her teeth. He knocked out this baby's teeth at 2. Picked her up by her legs, slammed her head into a wall. But Brianna can't get her kids back. Brianna can't get her children back. Because when I look in Kamari's obituary, I see nothing but love. I see nothing but baby pictures of Kamari. Nothing but love. Nothing but love for her child. And she can't get her baby back. Baby Kamari's never coming back into her care. Two-year-old couldn't walk, talk. And they're saying, hey, she had mental issues. Take the children. Y'all had the children gone. The children was in a loving home. The baby could be here today. But no. They can give the kids back to the demons. The good parents, they lose their kids under the care of foster care, you know. She neglected her baby to go outside because some ladies put up at her house to fight her only for her baby to die in foster care. Y'all gotta stop making this shit up. Like it's they always take the wrong kid. Yeah, Tristan. Right, Pinky Jean.
Completely indifferent. Throughout the interrogations, his story constantly changed. At first, he denied involvement in the injuries, blaming everything on Bradley. Then he admitted to biting Glenara, but claimed it was a game. He said that on March 29th, he woke up around noon, and while still in bed, Bradley told him that Glenara wouldn't wake up. He then told her to take the daughter to the hospital. In the third interrogation, Bates finally admitted that he had held Glenara by her feet, high in the air, just playing with her, swinging her around. He claimed that the shoes slipped off, and she fell.
So when you checked her, what'd you find out?
She was just cold. She didn't look right.
She appeared to be alive?
It seemed like she was, like, 'cause that's how she always be looking like. Just so.
Cold and not breathing?
Nah, she don't be cold, but she's just laying there looking, you know what I'm saying? But when she brought it to me, I felt.
What did he want her to look like? He picked his baby up by the feet, y'all. 2 years old. I know many. 2 years old. And slung her body into a wall. And the baby testified that, a big old knot formed on the baby's head once he slammed the baby's head into the wall. But that wasn't enough. Again, he knocked her teeth out of her mouth. 13 pounds, a 2-year-old. So it wasn't good enough that they put her in a tub, no blanket, no pillow. That was her living arrangements and feces. We didn't feed her. We knocked her teeth out of her mouth. We beat her with a belt. We took scalded hot water and poured it on her body every day. And he wondered why the baby looked lifeless. He said she looked like that every day. I imagine she would. She was lifeless. She had no life into her. She didn't even have hair on her head. The poor baby's head, all that hair that baby had fell out. Copies, you tell me. I don't know. Everything about this baby was gone before they even took a life.
Felt that she was cold, and like I said, her lips were purple, and I just told her to take her. Like, that was it.
Do you understand everything that's going on right now?
I mean, I do, but it just.
Just what?
It don't seem real right now.
What's fake about it?
I feel like I'm dreaming.
I'm having a hard time believing that any of this stuff took place and you have no knowledge about it, or you didn't pay that much attention to it.
I told him everything I knew. I know about her teeth being out. I know about the thing on her forehead. I'm just now seeing that shit. Like I said, I ain't changed her diaper. I seen the bruises on her leg.
And if I'm correct, the bite marks you did, right?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Cause we be playing like dog, you gonna get you and all of that, and I'm shaking, probably bit her too hard, something like that. But
you play what?
I never like doggy, like chasing her around, and biting her and stuff like a dog, like that.
So you put you put your mouth on her right here, bite down on her and shake her. Is that right?
Well, not shake her like that, but like how dogs do like that. Like it ain't like she crying while I'm doing it, she playing. It's a game we play, you feel me? But not like leave no marks. Like I didn't even know she had no marks.
You play this game with her shirt on or shirt off?
When she got her whole onesie on, like her whole suit, the overalls.
Right. So, do you agree if you left a mark here, you bit her pretty hard?
Yeah, if it's a mark, yeah. So yeah,
You agree with that?
too hard, yeah.
Not once, but maybe twice. There's another over here, right?
Yeah.
So was this done on the same day?
I ain't for sure. But I know that happened was that after she ate, she usually eat in that bathroom too. So she fed her, and I guess she was on the cook side, I guess. She fed her, and she went to sleep in the bathroom after she ate. She sat there, lay down, went to sleep. Yesterday, I just recall her, like, pretty much yesterday she was just trying to get her to drink some water. She was like, kept saying she was dehydrated.
And what was that like?
She just like real tired and sleepy. Like she was real sleepy. Just laying down all day.
The baby?
Yeah. She like giving her Pedialyte and water, like she dehydrated because she don't drink no water.
Show me. I mean, if this was her, show me how you were doing it.
Holding her back legs up in the air like this, playing with her legs. She had on shoes, and she just came right out of the shoes.
And she fell? And how did she fall?
On her head.
Was this a problem child? Did this child?
Nah, she ain't do nothing. That's what I'm saying. Her.
What could that baby do? What could that baby do? Hey, Bridget, what could that baby do? She couldn't do nothing. She couldn't walk. She couldn't talk. Nothing. She was starved to death. No teeth. Where you knocked them out, sir? He knocked her teeth out of her mouth. Already 13 pounds at 2 years old with scalding hot water poured on her every day. They said if she got 1 meal a day. Well, what did she do? To where you pick her up by her legs and slam her head into a wall. What did she do?
I don't understand.
According to him, this incident happened about a week before her death, after which she was supposedly fine, drinking, eating, playing. However, medical evidence and witness testimony completely refuted this version. Bradley, for her part, also denied responsibility, claiming she was in an abusive relationship with Bates and that he manipulated her. She alleged that he once bit their daughter so hard that he tore off a piece of skin with his teeth. If you believe that sharing these
It's 1 in a billion. Yeah, I'm trying. You know how hard you have to bite on a child to rip her skin off her body? Do y'all not know how hard you have to bite down on somebody's skin to rip the skin off their body? And the fact that they are letting this bitch say that she's mental and she can tell you that she's getting her ass kicked and that she can recall all of this shit that happened to her baby that she helped endure to this baby at 2. Don't forget 13 pounds. Right? Baby. Jacqueline, you hear me? You hear me, Niecy? I kill him.
These stories can help prevent similar tragedies in the future. Please support our mission. Take a moment to subscribe to my channel, share this video with others, and leave a thoughtful comment. Your simple action today could become a lifeline for a vulnerable child tomorrow. Together, we can be the voice for those who have been silenced. The trial of Glenn Bates began in October 2016. The Deputy Coroner of Hamilton County, Dr. Jennifer Scott, provided detailed testimony about Glenara's numerous injuries. She showed the jury photographs demonstrating different stages of bruise healing, indicating that Glenara had been beaten many times.
First off, let's agree on this. The evidence is clear that Glenara Bates should never have died on March 29, 2015. She shouldn't have died. She was born healthy in January of 2013. This is his baby girl. He owes Glenara Bates, his natural daughter, a duty of care, support, and protection. It's a duty imposed by law. He's as much responsible for her nutrition as Andrea Bates. You can't just say, this is her fault, she didn't feed my baby. If Andrea Bates doesn't feed her, he's got to feed her. He's just an absentee father. Now, he doesn't get to say that. He doesn't get to come in here and say it's her fault because she didn't feed him. This is his child. It's not just hers. It's not somebody else's kid that happened to be being raised in that home by her. It's his child. She was literally beaten from head to toe, scars over scars, bruises, abrasions, burns. As lacking in credibility as his statements to the police were, there was one witness that testified in this case that gave some of the most compelling testimony you'll ever see. She saw Glenn Bates holding Glenara by the legs and swing her with all his might so that her head hit the door frame. And when I asked, well, what did Glenara do when that happened? She said she cried for a minute and then she stopped and there was no more sound after that.
The most compelling testimony came from Glenara's 10-year-old sister. The girl described how Bates held Glenara by her legs and forcefully threw her head against the wall the day before her death.
Can y'all drop some pink hearts for me? Justice for Glenara. It's the other kids that's affected too. The fact that the 10-year-old sibling had to thank you, LG, thank you. The fact that the 10-year-old sister had to testify that that's the last time she heard her sister make a noise is when he picked this baby up and slammed her head into the wall. The screams that must have left baby Glenara. The fact that she's even named after this piece of shit is just... He didn't drop her, Pinky Jean. He slammed her into the wall. The 10-year-old testified. He picked her up by her legs and slammed her head into the wall. She cried and she stopped. And that's when she passed away. Way before they even took her to the hospital, she'd been unalived. Praying for Jacqueline, praying for Melinda. It's harder. It's harder when you're covering it and you really gotta talk about it. I keep saying that again. It's hard for y'all, but it's
The next morning, she saw her mother holding Glenara, whose eyes were closed and who wasn't moving. When police searched the house on Hackberry Street, they discovered the bathroom where the child had been forced to live, covered with feces and blood, Photographs of this place caused some jurors to turn away. On October 16, 2016, the jury found Bates guilty of aggravated murder, and he was sentenced to death. Bates showed no emotion when the judge read the verdict.
Now hear your verdict as is required by law. In the matter of the state of Ohio versus Glenn E. Bates, the verdict count 1. We, the jury in the issue joined, find the defendant Glenn E. Bates guilty of aggravated murder, a violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.01C, as charged in count 1 of the indictment, signed by all 12 jurors. Verdict specification 1 to count 1 in the matter of the state of Ohio versus Glenn E. Bates. We, the jury, having found the defendant Glenn E. Bates guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of aggravated murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment, find the defendant Glenn E. Bates guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of causing the death of another who was under 13 years of age at the time and was a principal offender in the aggravated murder as charged in specification 1 to count 1 of the indictment, signed by all 12 jurors. In the matter of the state of Ohio versus Glenn E. Bates, verdict count 2. We, the jury in the issue joined, find the defendant Glenn E. Bates guilty of endangering children, a violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2919.22B1 as charged in count 2 of the indictment, and we find that the violation resulted in serious physical harm to Glenara Bates, signed by all 12 jurors. State of Ohio versus Glenn E. Bates, verdict count 3. We, the jury in the issue joined, find the defendant Glenn E. Bates guilty of murder, a violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.02B as charged in count 3 of the indictment, signed by all 12 jurors.
He is not a monster. He is not a murderer. He knows I love him. He knows I forgive him. And he knows that I have his back. Period. No matter.
Y'all heard his mother? He's not a murderer. He's not a killer. I'ma always have his back no matter what. Don't it start home? Don't it always start at home? I mean, to hear her say this is so disgusting and despicable. And ma'am, I don't even know what to call you, ma'am. You're demonic. This demonic piece of shit that you pushed out, ma'am, is very much so a murder. And that means you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit that had a piece of shit. And this is the problem. You're the problem in society today that has these monsters. Because, see, somebody did it to you, you did it to him, and it went on down. Another generational curse that this piece of shit, see, he was a swallow baby. Her fat ass should have swallowed his ass. Somebody should have did the same to her. But this is the demonic shit we have to deal with because of bitches like her. I hate a bitch like her. I hate a piss poor piece of shit like her. They're not mothers. See, dogs can lay down and have puppies, right? That don't make them a mother. I'll always have his back. He ain't a murderer. Yeah, what about the baby that's gone? What about Glenora and her teeth being missing? What about Glenora sleeping in a tub in feces and blood? What about Glenora being 13 pounds at 2, ma'am, and cannot walk, talk? Because your son knocked her teeth out of her mouth. What about your son admitting to slamming his baby's head into a wall? And he's not a murderer. Because that's the last time she took her breath is when he slammed this 2-year-old that's 13 pounds head into that wall. Per her sister's testimony, where a 10-year-old should never.
What? He is my son. God bless me with him, and I will continue to support him.
Bates attorneys.
See, because your piece of shit ass is a murderer too. See, when you had this demonic entity and you did what you did to him, you're just as much as part of her death as he is. You hear me? Right, Carla? I want y'all to hear her again when she says about having her sons back.
Jurors. In the matter of the state of Ohio versus Glenn E. Bates, verdict count 2. We, the jury in the issue join, find the defendant Glenn E. Bates guilty of endangering children, a violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2919.22B1 as charged in count 2 of the indictment, and we find that the violation resulted in serious physical harm to Glenara Bates, signed by all 12 jurors. State of Ohio versus Glenn E. Bates, verdicts count 3. We, the jury in the issue join, find the defendant Glenn E. Bates guilty of murder, a violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.02B as charged in count 3 of the indictment, signed by all 12 jurors.
He is not a monster. He is not a murderer. He knows I love him. He knows
If he's not these things, y'all, from this demonic piece of shit that had him, how are we here? How do your son admit to doing this shit to this baby and he's not what you're saying? This is all demonic piece of shit. These are the people we should be scared of. Mm-hmm. The people in Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, that lives around this demonic piece of shit. Watch your children. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. God bless them with Glenara too, but guess what they did? They unalived her in the most horrific measure. Just
forgive him, and he knows I'm gonna have his back. Period. No matter what. He is my son. God bless me with him, and I will continue to support him.
Bates' attorneys tried to shift the blame to Bradley, arguing that she was mentally ill and spent more time with the children. They also claimed that Bates had only lived in the house for a week or two, spending most of his time before that at his mother's house. However, these arguments didn't convince the jury. Andrea Bradley, unlike Bates, didn't stand trial. At the time of her arrest, she was in the late stages of pregnancy with her 8th child, whom she gave birth to in prison. Her attorneys argued that she couldn't be sentenced to death due to her low IQ of 67, which is below the threshold of 70 for a death penalty sentence. Eventually, she agreed to a plea deal, pleading no contest to the charges, and was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. At her sentencing hearing, Bradley told Judge Robert Ruhlman, "It doesn't matter what I want. Give the world what it wants. The world wants the death penalty. Give it to them. I don't care."
It don't matter what I want. Give the world what they want. The world wants the death penalty. Give it to them.
I sure do. I sure do. I want your ass gone like you did your daughter. How you wanted your daughter is what the fuck we want for you. She is absolutely correct. Give us what we want. Hey, True Marie. Give us what we want. We want off with her head. I know I do. I know I do. This bitch can say this weird shit, but she's incompetent. Get the fuck out of here. It'd be that type of shit, but she's in. No, the fuck she's not. She mustered up to say that. Give the world what they want. They want this. See them demonic ass bitches that play with the system. Mm-hmm. That's manipulation at its finest. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they should have went with her per her request to get her the fuck up out of here. Take her the fuck up out of here. Because that's where I want them. Gone. 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 I don't give a fuck what it is, how it is. Get her the fuck up out of her. I know I don't want bitches like this in my community. Yeah, Passion B got the nerve to be pregnant with the 8th child. So she can lay up and suck and fuck. This is where y'all tax dollars go, to these demonic motherfucking entities. The Shannons. Janiyah McMichael Rogers' mother. Jamaria Sessions' father. This sick bitch. That's our tax dollars. Where we go work and don't like going in and ready to cuss everybody the fuck out. We cussing the wrong people out about our work. Okay? Because me personally, I'm sick of taking care of demonic bitches.
I don't care. I'll let y'all in y'all family.
Hold on a second. Another outburst. I didn't ask for an outburst, and there'll be none of that in the future. Understand? You speak when spoken to. You don't speak when your attorney asks you to speak or the court. Understand? You can't behave. You won't be here with these hearings, okay?
Despite his initial death sentence, Glenn Bates ultimately avoided execution. He successfully appealed his sentence on the grounds that the trial was unfair. His attorneys pointed out that they hadn't questioned a white juror who had expressed racial prejudice in a questionnaire. In 2023, Bates accepted a new plea deal, receiving 25 years in prison with credit for 8 years already served.
I'm from the state of Ohio versus Glenn Bates.
Thank you, Jordan.
The aggravating circumstance in this case is as follows. The defendant, in the commission of the offense, purposely caused the death of Glenara Bates, whose date of birth was January 18th of 2013, who was under 13 years of age at the time of the commission of the offense, and the defendant was a principal offender in the commission of the offense. I must consider whether this aggravating circumstance outweighs the mitigating factors presented by the defendant, which include his history, character, and background. The words of the defendant's mother, Benita Crum, how hard it would be on her and her family for the defendant to be sentenced to death. How much easier and better it would be for them to have the ability to visit the defendant in the Department of Corrections, and how she would be devastated if he were sentenced to death. In carefully considering whether...
So they can unalive their kids and get 25 years with 8 years served. That means he'll be out in another 5 years, 6 years. Thank you, Pinky Jean.
The aggravating circumstance in this case outweighs the mitigating factors offered by the defense. The court has come to a decision beyond a reasonable doubt. Indeed, the aggravating circumstance does outweigh the mitigating factors. And so on count one, aggravated murder, a special felony, in violation of Revised Code 2903.01C, with specification 1 to count 1, the court hereby sentences the defendant, Glenn Bates, to death. With regard to count 2, endangering children, In violation of 2919.22B1, a felony of the second degree. The court hereby sentences the defendant, Glenn Bates, to 8 years in the Ohio Department of Corrections. With regard to count 3, murder, in violation of 2903.02B, a special felony, the court hereby sentences the defendant to 15 years to life.
The tragedy of Glenara seems even more heartbreaking because of the countless missed opportunities for intervention. Hamilton County Child Protective Services closed at least 5 reports of abuse without proper investigation. Bradley manipulated doctors, claiming that Glenara had a rare genetic defect causing her weight loss, and Bates, according to neighbors, threatened anyone who tried to intervene. The foster parents who cared for Glenara begged authorities not to return her, warning that Bradley was incapable of care. Their pleas were ignored. Glenara's death raised serious questions about the work of Child Protective Services. After the tragedy, agency director Moira Weir admitted, "We failed to follow our own rules." As a result, 2 social workers resigned, and 2 supervisors were suspended. Glenara's grandmother, Desana Bradley, filed a federal lawsuit against Child Protective Services, claiming they knew about the abuse of the little girl, but still left her with her parents. The lawsuit stated, Glenara was removed from the cruel and inhumane custody of her parents, and then thrown back into that squalor and depravity. Prosecutor Joe DeTers stated that his office had always opposed returning Glenara to her parents. The county failed to follow any procedures they had established for themselves. This child fell through the cracks. Glenara's older siblings were placed in new foster homes. The 10-year-old girl who testified against Bates found a new home in a rural part of western Ohio. When asked if she liked her new home, she broke down in tears. "I don't have to go through all that misery. I don't have to go through all that suffering." Today in Cincinnati, there exists a small memorial in memory of Glenara. The former foster parents, Peg and her husband Fontaine, often visit it. They still keep photographs of the happy Buddha baby who once thrived in their home, and wonder what might have been if she had been allowed to stay. Glenara Bates lived just 2 years, but her memory continues to live on as a warning about the price of inaction and a reminder of our collective responsibility to protect the most vulnerable. I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who watched this video all the way through.
Yeah, Pinky Jean. Yeah, Betty. Yeah. She is, Carla. The Lord, what she had to endure to get peace, you know, at such a young age. This is sad. Hey, Kyra. Y'all know how I be emotional, and that tore me up. We did praying nothing but pink hearts, you guys, for pink hearts for the baby. We did Dakota Collins the other day, and I kind of went through some stuff. I want to play, because I said I was going to come back, and since I'm here, I want to play some stuff for you guys. I want to another piece of shit. This hurts. Actually, I'm going to end it here so I can regroup because I got an all-nighter coming up and my brain is like all over the place right now. These cases, they get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I want to keep this totally about Glenara because it's her. This is her story. Dakota's story is Dakota's story. Naziah Harris' story is Naziah Harris' story. Kamani's story is Kamani's story. But up in the last days, I want you guys to always think about what these babies endured. Dakota, Glenara, baby Quintani, Kimani, dismembered, hands cut off, throat cut off. When you got to talk about it because it's the truth. We don't want to hear it, but we have to talk about it because it's unfortunately what happened. Do we know what they went through in their last few seconds of being alive? And these sweet kids' minds, the ones that was able to grasp life, unlike Glenara, she didn't understand any of it. Before Kamani, Latig, and Dakota, and Naziah, one has to say they were saying why. The screams, the cries of their last moments being alive has to be one of the most horrific sounds we would ever want to hear as normalized parents, as people who love and have compassion. These kids didn't have any of that. No compassion, no love, only disdain, hate, envy. And no, they didn't ask for it. It's just the demonic entities that these kids have been around, and all the cries out for help, nobody, not even the CPS who's supposed to, they're pieces of shit too. And nobody to help them, the people that's supposed to serve and protect the children. And I hope CPS takes that out of their name, to just that word out, protect. Y'all don't protect children. Y'all place children right in the hands of people to unalive them. Like my baby right here, Kamari. That face in a casket. Baby Glenara in the same case that baby Kimari was in, with cute little Hello Kitty stuffed animals around her casket. Hey, Milky Way, you hear me? You hear me? She said at this point, animal shelters are providing better care for animals than CPS does for the babies. You ain't never lied on that one. That's one of the realest statements. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Please make sure to pull up tonight and Friday. Let's pray for Friday. I want to have a movie night with you guys with the Naziah Harris case. I hope to bring something epic to the table. But we're going to break a live down tonight because we're going to do a timeline. But it was something that we all missed within the Naziah Harris case that I want to show you guys. I'm pretty upset about it and I'm pretty sick. In these cases, we do all this explaining about the shit that doesn't fucking matter, but y'all never come to the table to explain the shit that does. For those that have sent me Cash Apps, my Cash App is not working. So everything has to be PayPal, Chime, or Zelle. So if you like what you're hearing, for now, those are the three options. Tanya J, thank you. Thank you for those that purchase memberships that are pouring into me. Y'all pouring into these babies just as much as y'all pouring into me. And I love how y'all love the kids. Yes, Tristan. Salute to each and every one of y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all hump day. And thank y'all for loving these kids, okay?
Miss Parker, the YouTube star, lighting up the screen, you know who you are. Bringing news you can use and a laugh or two. She's got the facts, the fun, and the realest view. With a voice so smooth and a smile so bright, she's shining like a beacon in the darkest night. Deep dives on the stories that really matter. She's breaking it down, cutting through the chatter. Pop in, stay a while, you'll feel right at home. She's got a little something for everyone. With a heart so big and an attitude strong. A friend, a voice for the unheard, asking all the questions, never missing a word or a second to none. She's blazing like the sun. Miss Parker, the only one. She's got the news to amuse and the truth to reveal. For those who need a champion, she's standing tall. Fighting for justice, she's giving her all. With every upload, she's making a change. Bringing people together, no matter the range. So hit that subscribe, don't miss a beat. Miss Parker's got the content that can't be beat. Questions we all have, she's not afraid to ask. Uncovering the story, she's up to the task. With a laugh, a wink, and a spirit so true. Miss Parker's got the magic and she's sharing it with you. Pop in, stay a while, you'll feel right at home. She's got a little something for everyone. With a heart so big and an attitude strong. She's an advocate, a friend, a voice for the unheard, asking all the questions, never missing